How's it going, everybody? So first and foremost, I know things are starting off a little bit different than what we're used to. So for one, I have sunglasses on. I know exactly how I look, and I'm all right with it. You don't have to tell me twice. And then in addition, I am here by myself, at least for the time being. Jacob is going to be joining us pretty soon, or probably within the next 10 to 20 minutes. But to give you guys an idea of what is about to happen, we had our seating event about 2 weeks ago, and there was a lot of really good gameplay that came out of this event. If you've already seen the stream that we put up, or the footage that we put up with the commentary, awesome, good on you. If you haven't, you're about to get a more condensed version of it. It's going to be the highlights that I am pulling from this event, along with the highlights that Jacob is going to be pulling once he gets in. And yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. So, without further ado, I have to thank the people we all know and love: Loco Airsoft, Blowback Masters, Take One Airsoft, and Vendetta Speedsoft. As far as I know, there is some new stuff coming to Blowback Masters and Take One Airsoft. Just from following them on Instagram, they should be hitting some new items there on their website. So make sure you give them a look, and we'll get things started off. Yeah? All right. So, like I said, I have a few clips here, and I am going to apologize in advance if I feel a little scattered. So, yeah, all right, so let's get things kicked off. You know, with this whole event, I was really thrown off. I had some predictions of my own, didn't share them with anybody, just kind of thought, things are going to go one way or another with specific teams. We had some new teams, New York Insomnia that came out, along with Unnamed Kings, a Maryland team, and then the Valhalla Tactical Home team. None of these guys have played in a single live tournament, so it's their first experience into the sport. And I wasn't sure how they were going to do right off the bat. I really thought, they might lose their first round game, considering, they're going against some veteran teams, and that's just what my general thoughts were, but things didn't go that way. Just to get an idea, the first matchup that we have is with New York Insomnia and Animosity. That's where our first highlight is coming from. If you guys have watched this already and you have a highlight you want to throw out, just let me know. Drop me a timestamp and we can give it a look-see. I'm sorry, I'm all over the keyboard right now, fat finger and everything. But okay, yeah, so we're going to skip ahead to about the 5-minute mark. We'll just go ahead and start the match there. This is the third game of the match, and Insomnia is on your right. As you can see, Animosity is on your left. Let's just kind of play along. I'm going to lower the volume so you don't
have to get into the nitty-gritty
hear me twice. I know my voice is wonderful, but either way, so we're coming up to 5:20, which is right now. This was the make or break point for Insomnia. So in games 1 and 2, it went even. Animosity took 1, Insomnia took 1. Going into game 3, it's make or break here. I'm pretty sure I said it in the live stream, or in the footage here. Winning these games are super essential for not only your mental aspect of the game, but it changes your strategy playing later on in the event. And if you think otherwise, that's great. This is just my experience watching these events unfold the last couple years. It is a little dark. I'm going to take the shades off. I'm just super excited because I got these new M-frame Oakleys. If you guys haven't had a pair of M-frame Oakleys, this is probably my second pair in my life, and I absolutely love them. So either way, I digress. Losing a game here means you're running through the loser's bracket, right? And then winning the game means you have a pretty lengthy break, which is wonderful. You can really kind of like chill out, do your thing. Either way, we're going to watch the entirety of this game
and the game continues.
and the commentary.
The flag where they got hit.
But I'm going to point out a few things. I'm going to pause and go. So if you don't like that sort of thing, I apologize now, along with blowing into the mic. So the first kill going down, and here's our first mistake, right? I know you want to get the points. I know you want to kind of like progress the game. You have 4 minutes. And when it's 1-1, you really have to pick and choose your battles. And when you're not in the know about where your team is and so on, it's kind of hard to do so. So we have 2 guys from Insomnia going down. And as you see here, we have the 3rd member of Animosity going down. What would have been better in this case, and what Insomnia did really well versus Animosity, is that they waited. You know, we're only 20 seconds into the game. At this moment in time, you got to wait it out. So I want to applaud Insomnia right here for, you know, kind of waiting out this game.
3 going down
and,
the
you know,
side and
really just
Insomnia side, as we can see right now.
Playing a little bit smarter.
So
that's really what it is. Keeping up the
4
communication, super essential.
Insomnia on your right.
When
One more going down,
I originally
Animosity
picked
on your left.
my predictions, I had Animosity winning this game solely because they had experience. And I thought, you know,
either one of these teams,
that will give them the upper hand.
which is,
They seem to
you
be
know,
having
huge thing.
a pretty rough morning
If you
in
don't
terms
have that
of,
communication
you know,
down, you can't
teammates
really tell what's
getting
going
there
on,
late and,
especially when you're one of the
you know,
forward.
not really being able to settle in the way they wanted to. That also plays a huge mental aspect to the game.
If he doesn't make the transition, he gets shot out from the back left.
Now you see the change in tempo for both teams as well.
Looks like we might be 2 on 2 here.
Animosity slowed down.
2-on-1.
They have 2 back players. They know they gotta hold their spot, and hopefully, you know, either things go to a decision or
Advancement up to the flag,
or whatnot.
Getting those points.
Getting the points, stay
Running
safe.
these games
That's what's super essential here.
going on
Unfortunately,
for a long
Omar
period
goes
of
down in the
time.
back
It's,
left.
it's
It
good
is
to
what it
start
is.
thinking about,
And then
he's not gonna see
staying
it. He's
too
gonna hit
tunneled.
from behind, running down
And
the
Sippy
side.
takes
Insomnia
the
looks like
win.
he's gonna be taking this.
That's my first highlight for the day or for the event. I really liked it. It was just, you know, smart gameplay. Things to go over. We're gonna jump a little bit further into the bracket, which we have Tier 6 versus TSA. Let's head up to about 9 minutes 40 seconds. Play this through, kind of set you guys up. Like I said, this is the first game.
I'm kind of surprised. From
And,
the 2 teams.
Tier 6 at this point is already down a member, and I believe TSA is down a member as well. But I want you to keep an eye on Snake 50
They go about
with
this. He stands very tall at Snake 50.
with TSA Heath now taking the jump over.
Kind
It was
a
kind of sloppy
misengaged.
and how this all
One going down
unfolded,
from TSA, there's Snake 50.
but I'll give you bonus
3-on-1
points
at the
for,
moment, I believe.
and it sucks that he's not here because I'm sure he'd be talking himself
Grab
up,
that flag, make the
but bonus
offensive
points for
throw in.
thinking outside of the box. You have somebody that's
Getting
looking
taken out.
over to the right, you know, down the lane so often. You gotta find a new approach, and that's what he did.
Looking at 2
I'm
on 1.
gonna make myself a little bit smaller. I'm not that important. There we go.
Hearing all the BBs hit the back wall, you can really tell how much they're shooting down. The changes we made this year is a mat capacity, so they can't go through.
Now,
endless amount of
unfortunately,
rounds
that
without,
that didn't
others
help
running
them
down.
win in this game, but it was still kind of an interesting move.
Losing this round.
I don't know if I would have done it.
Just going to find the flag.
I definitely would have probably looked inside first
Game 1.
to see
Tier 6.
how things were going, but
Now, as I was saying,
you know, that's me. I'm not everybody else.
You can't just.
So I think the next highlight I have is further on in the day. But at this point, we have, you know, New York Insomnia moving into the second round, along with TSA. Tier 6 gets put into the losers bracket with Animosity. And then the next 2 games, Murder Inc. versus Valhalla Tactical. Same scenario. Valhalla gets put into the losers bracket. Murder Inc. moves on. And then we have Goons versus Unnamed Kings. Now, that's actually a match I wanted to take a quick look at as well. And kind of just give a little bravo, if you will, a tip of the hat to the fellas over at Unnamed Kings, with their first event being at the seeding event. There's a lot of nerves that go into that. I know the first event we played in, it was hard to really get things going. You haven't really played with each other all that long. You're trying to figure it out, but you have Goons losing players early, Unnamed Kings losing players early, and this is, I think, the first big mistake. Right here, we're going to go back and see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. So, we have, in the 50, you have the Goons player. Going to slow things down just a bit. We have the Goons player, advancing into their Snake 1 or Snake 3. Home player going down. And from here, it should be a pretty easy cleanup. Should have been bang bang, but instead he kind of takes his time and he doesn't check his corners. So he gets taken out at the cube. It's good spatial awareness on Unnamed Kings, but unfortunately for Goons, it didn't work out all that great for him. I had spoken to Dawn about this as well. Welcome, Blowback Masters. Thank you, sir. Good old Ben. I'm assuming that's you. But yeah, Don, you gotta look, man. You gotta look down the inside before you really commit, and then try to get that Dorito out. And then that cube, they take the first game, and this is what was so much fun for me, watching this whole event and getting to see these upsets. It was great. I loved it. I didn't have Unnamed Kings winning in the first round. I honestly thought they were going to go 0-2 and then put it into the losers bracket for a better matchup, but they surprised me. And yeah, so Jacob is here with us. What's up, Jacob? If you can hear me.
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, what up, guys? Sorry for the delay.
So, I'll share this with you so you can look at what I'm looking at.
Pull up the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
You can see it in real time. All right, so before we go any further, because we'll be really far into the bracket at that point, is there any early highlights that you had from the event? I know I'm throwing you to the wolves as soon as you get in too.
Yeah, it's okay. Hold on, I'm just getting everything situated. So what was your question? Go ahead.
If you had any early highlights from the event.
I didn't get to watch everything all the way through the way that I watched it once all the way through. I didn't get to double back and really pull up a specific moment from each team like I wanted to.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I really liked that I noticed in the beginning matches that you guys have probably already passed was when Tier 6 played Animosity early on, and just their
We haven't got
tenacity.
there yet.
Oh, we haven't? Okay.
It's wonderful. No,
All
we're
right.
still locked in on the first round, so.
Oh, on the first round. Okay, well, since we haven't gotten there and I'm on time, and cool, I won't pull that up yet. The Unnamed Kings versus Goons match, there is a highlight. I think it's about to air here, real time for us, depending on when you click play or not.
So we just saw Don kind of mess up in the snake.
Uh,
That's what I was highlighting.
yeah.
It's not necessarily a highlight, more of a learning
Right.
opportunity, but I think this is game 3.
Yeah, he does really well in game 3 if I remember correctly, and that was actually what I was gonna bring up is his move that he makes, which you'll see here shortly. He does very well. I don't know if the game 1 if he messed up or if it was game 2, but game 3 he plays very well.
Yeah, game 1 is when he messed up and he wasn't really checking where he was going, but
I mean, look right here, game 3. He's pushed up all the way into their snake side already, and he's gonna start dropping bodies here soon. There goes one. There goes another. Yep.
I'm glad that you highlighted this too, because I was just saying, like, you got to take your time when you're that far up in the snake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of nice to see him make that improvement, like,
just from game to game.
Yeah, from game to game. It's hard to do.
Yeah, not a lot of people recognize that behavior and then adjust. A lot of people stay stagnant with what they were doing, what they're comfortable with. And there's a saying that, like, a lot of my at work that a lot of my bosses have actually been using: if you're comfortable, you're doing it wrong. You're doing something wrong if you're comfortable.
Yeah.
If you are uncomfortable with the situation you are in, chances are you're probably doing something right. Actually, that kind of, like, sticks out to me because it's kind of true, right? Like, especially in a situation like this, like, if you're comfortable and your team's losing, you're doing something wrong. If you're like, well, if you're comfortable enough to be like, oh, I did my part, and then, like, your team still lost, no, you something's messed up somewhere. You did something wrong, whether it's as a team or as an individual. So, like, if you were uncomfortable, like a lot of the times with me, like when I was standing, which you guys will see later on, there's at one point where I'm standing up in the snake, and I was very uncomfortable. And it wasn't necessarily the right call when you watch the whole thing, but it was like, it made sense at the time to me to do, but I was uncomfortable. But it was like, if I just stayed in a comfortable situation where I know what I was doing, I would have never known, hey, this decision that I made detrimented our team as a whole rather than actually benefiting our team.
Were you talking about when you jumped over early on?
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things. I was like, damn, man, too bad he's not here. That would have been great.
Yeah. No, like that. Like, so when I made that move, it was like I was very uncomfortable doing so, but I did it because at the time I thought it was necessary, right?
Right.
But then from looking back and being able to look at it all, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do it, but there's a better way to execute it and make it more beneficial for my team. And that just falls into, I'm kind of rambling here at this point, but falls into the uncomfortability of comfortability. Like, I'm comfortable playing in the snake, playing low, winning my peak battles, and pushing up. But, like, going over the top or coming over the top is something I'm uncomfortable doing, let alone jumping over the wall. So, like, I was doing something right by pushing myself and learning new things because I was uncomfortable, rather than being like, okay, I'm just comfortable and complacent.
Yeah.
So, I could talk about myself for days. We know this.
I'm sure you could.
Back to the
So, the questions I have for you, and if you're here in the chat and you know the team's name, by all means, you can put in your own prediction as we move through this bracket as well. I mean, we already know the outcome in between Animosity and Insomnia, but I'm sure you looked at the bracket beforehand. Who would you have put moving to the second round from that game, Animosity versus Insomnia?
Honestly, it was a tough choice, right? For me, looking at it, I was like, I know the skill on both sides. I know more so of Animosities because we played with them on a regular basis at rec play and everything like that, so I know how they play as individuals, not just as teammates. But I know the NYI guys from when we met them at the Turkey Classic that they have that will and the tenacity to study and be a student of the game, which I don't know that Animosity has or doesn't have that because I don't talk to them about Speedsoft outside of the tournaments, so I don't know how they operate as a team or if they do really.
Yeah.
But I know NYI does, right? And I know they study, they talk, they watch footage, they practice, they do everything that they can to prepare for the season. I don't know if Animosity does that, but I know Animosity has players and has shooters that can just go all out. So
Yeah.
my choice at the time was like, Animosity is probably gonna get the win just because of the experience level. Like they've been in it, they've done it, they've been top 3 contenders before, they've been first place team before.
Right.
I was like, all right, they're probably gonna take it. Is that how it turned out? No.
Yeah, and that's more or less the same reasoning I had for that as well. So it makes sense. Obviously, it makes sense because
Right. When you think about it logically, it's like
yeah. But moving into the second game, obviously, I know what your answer is. It's the same as mine. I mean, kind of. But you guys played against Tier 6 for Game 2. Obviously, you think your team's going to win because, and if you didn't, you'd have bigger issues here. But
yeah. That would have been more than the talking to that we did have.
Yeah.
The one-on-ones would not have been as pleasant. That's for sure.
So for you guys, I'll fill you in on this. If you didn't already know, I am the team captain or I should say one of the team captains for True Stars Airsoft. And after this event, a lot had happened, and I thought it was essential for me to talk to the guys just about Airsoft as a whole and kind of like pick their brains about everything. And that's what Jacob is talking about, is having this one-on-one time. That sounds kind of awkward, but at the same time, it was necessary. Something that if you guys don't already do, this is way off topic. Thank you. But but if this isn't something you've already done, I would definitely suggest giving it at least a thought. At least a thought. It's worth it.
I just dug the hole. You just went down it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So anyway, back to the teams that are playing.
Right. What up, Speedsoft Australia? Nice to have you guys in here. Future reference, by the way, this should be a more normal schedule moving throughout the season. I haven't really been able to talk to Jacob about this, but welcome to the club, Jacob. You're just like everybody else. The way the bracket breakdown is going to work is after every event, we'll have one of these episodes, right? We'll release the footage. I'll have commentary, all that stuff that we already have now. And right after that, or the following Tuesday, we'll come back in and we'll do one of these breakdowns. I would like to get a little bit more in depth with it if I can. I don't want this to be like a full video of us just watching the entire event and like speaking on just the things as they go. Yeah, because that's what commentary is. We don't need to do that. So
we could do.
What?
We could pull out the footage and like watch it, and then like you said, pull out the key points like I didn't get to do for this one, like MVP contender plays, and just do that as the episode.
There is one MVP play by my standards that was in this event, and I'm gonna leave that for the very end. But yeah, either way.
It's something we could do. We could just do like highlights, like hey, these plays are contenders for the MVP, and then we could vote on it at the end, type of deal.
Woo!
It's a possibility. But
anyone that's here in the chat, whenever you guys watch this over, look back to what you thought was an MVP play. Timestamp it, toss it in the comments. I'll give it a look. That'll be a vote. I'm keeping track of all this stuff for the entire season because someone's getting a really nice DSG at the end of the year. And I'm not saying there's going to be some custom engraving, but there might be some custom
possible.
engraving. Either way, we're so sidetracked at this point. All right, so
Okay.
Jacob.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, right. Scotto, yo. We have Murder Inc. versus Valhalla. Who do you got?
Murdering versus Valhalla.
Yep. But we're gonna hit just rapid fire. Unnamed Kings versus Goons. And then first round of the losers bracket, Animosity versus Tier 6. Valhalla versus Unnamed Kings.
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Yeah, so, me and you, we had like the same thought of, or frame of mind, right? I mean, we're kindred spirits anyways, but, God, this is just going down a weird rabbit hole.
You just keep going down.
I
I'm
know.
just here.
I'm sorry. I can't help it right now. This is just, my blood's pumping. I'm tired. I got, food coma inbound.
Look, at least you have that. I haven't even eaten dinner yet.
Hey, that's me most of these podcasts. I got off early, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the same thing. I really did. I mean, I had Murder Inc. only from past experience, like we had mentioned, within Animosity. And
Like, before we even get to the end, like these were my top 3, like off the bat, who I thought was gonna be up there. Right?
sure.
Us, because it's my team, we don't finish anywhere but the top. Murder Inc. Because they're pretty much our rivals at this point. At first, it was Animosity for a while, and like all the basically, if you want to call it the preseason before you created an official season.
Yep.
Right. They were our rivals then. That was before Murder Inc. really had solidified who they were and who they were going to have on their team. They were still Life of Marcus at the time, and they were trying to or actually Wasted Potential, and then they were Life of Marcus. They were still trying to figure out everything. But they definitely, they solidified that. They earned their spot. So I thought top 3 was going to be those 3 teams right off the bat.
Right.
But then having seen like NYI and Tier 6, practicing in their off times on social media and whatnot, I was like, okay, they're going to bring something that maybe we haven't seen yet. So they were kind of my 2 sleeper teams. I was like, okay, they could bounce back.
Yeah.
Now as far as Goons, Unnamed Kings, and Valhalla went, I didn't think was going to perform well at all. If I'm being 100% honest, I did not think they were going to do well. They surprised me. I'll say that much. Unnamed Kings, I was unsure of. I haven't seen any of them play. I haven't seen footage of them. I knew nothing about them, and all I knew was their first Speedsoft style event. So I didn't have high hopes for them, but I went in skeptical. Like maybe they'll pull something out of their butt. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Goons, I had faith in because I know some of the guys on that team. I know they can all play.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, like, for me, since I know them and I play with them outside of Speedsoft as well, it was like, are they going to have their chemistry ready for this day? Because I know they have players that can really play. So I was like, I was those 3, Valhalla, Goons, and Unnamed Kings, were like my I don't know where they're gonna end up teams. Like I know I'll never put anyone at the bottom because I'll never underestimate an opponent. So nobody will ever be like, oh, you're gonna finish last or you're just gonna lose. Like I don't think that of anybody. But those were my 3 teams. I was like, I don't know. And then Tier 6 and the other 2 were like, yeah, maybe they can surprise us.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah, and then the other 3 teams that I put in the top, I was like, these guys are gonna be top tier finishes no matter what.
Yeah.
But safe to say, without ruining everything, spoiler alert, that I was surprised. A lot of that didn't go the way that I thought it would.
Yeah.
With other teams. So
You kind of hit the nail on the head. I had a lot of the same predictions, and it's strange. It is strange. There's unknown factors, and I think when you have teams who haven't competed yet, they're ultimately the biggest threat you have on that day. There's no information. You have no idea if they've been other places, especially if they're not active on social media. You can only kind of be like, all right, well, maybe they look good, maybe they don't. And on this field in particular, there wasn't a whole lot you could go off of either because there's not a viewing station. yet. For people to, see what was going on during the other matches. That plays a huge role in a lot of these events. And I was thinking about that before the podcast, before the podcast started. Any of you guys that are here, please, you need to go up to Rhode Island for the Rhode Island Major, because they have an observation deck. It's a separate room, very big windows.
Space for the teams to be on the field as well.
Yeah, I mean it's a great spot to be watching stuff. I mean, imagine going to a football game and sitting on the 50-yard line. I mean, that's basically what you're looking at for Extreme Airsoft. They have a really nice field, so definitely get up there.
Not to mention with a couch.
Yeah.
50-yard line in a couch.
I mean, you got box seats on the 50. It's unreal.
You got box seats, and you can get food. So box seats, food. Yeah, you're good.
Right. All right.
Cool.
Moving forward into the second round. Did you have any highlights in the second round?
Animosity. Like who's second round? I don't remember the order at all.
Round 2 would have been Insomnia versus TSA, Murder Inc. versus Goons, and then losers bracket.
Would have been or what it was.
No, that's what it was. That's what it was.
It was
second
who
round.
Versus who?
Insomnia, NYI versus TSA, and Murder Inc. versus Goons.
I mean, so the first one you happened to bring up was our team. I'd like to just point out my highlight where I clutched the win for us, and it was actually more of like a teammate highlight than me. Like I clutched it kind of accidentally, but I pulled through. But my favorite moment from that was my teammate was Bert. At the end of it, he heard Fajito when he was out, and you actually see this in NYI's footage. He goes, damn, CBK just clutched up. And Bert goes, what? And he goes, CBK just clutched up. And as soon as the horn sounds, Bert's the first one on the field. And he's like, let's go! Let's go! Because he heard that I got the dub for us. But he was like, let's go! So, that was a cool moment from that. Not really like a highlight special, but that was a cool teammate-to-teammate moment. That like just hearing that and feeling that energy.
I love having that energy on the field, by the way.
Yeah. One thing that I did that in that particular that set of 3 that you can't really see on camera when it happens, but I look inside from the snake. We're on the blue side, so the left side of the screen when it happens. Mid and snake 1. I happen to lean inside and I look inside and I can see the head, the back right players, which happen to be NYI Sippy.
Yeah.
And I put a couple towards him. He notices because he sees my flashlight, and he ducks out of the way. And then whenever he tries to put a couple back towards me, but he has to stand kind of on his tiptoes to get that angle and kind of expose himself a little. So it made it a little bit of a firefight, but not for long. And then I dipped and went back inside and started battling. I think it was Nor who was in the snake. And I was like, I'm not getting anywhere with Norin. Neither one of us are like peeking out. We're both smart. We're not peeking out far enough to shoot each other. So let me look back inside and see if I can catch Sippy slipping, right? And I happen to just throw up a prayer. I look inside and I go, bink. I throw one down and I just watch it just paintball right over the top. I don't know if it hit him in the head or where it hit him, but I know it hit him because next thing I know, all I see is a hand come up over top of the bunker and him walk out. And I was like, yo, I hit that. I was so surprised with myself. But it's not anything you can actually see on camera, sadly, but it was kind of a cool moment for me, highlight-wise, in that game. But going back and having watched it, I liked just watching how well both teams communicated, actually. When those two teams were on the field, you could hear it.
Yeah, so, I mean, God, I feel like, well, I say this in the video too, early on, I think with this being like the first event of the year, a lot of teams were kind of like out of the loop, so to speak. And I spoke on that too because it was TSA versus damn it. I can't remember. You guys were playing it might have been I actually it was your first game against Tier 6.
Yeah.
And it got real quiet at one point. I was like, this is really odd to see from two experienced teams. Like, why is it so quiet? It's really strange. Either way, I mean, you guys ended up pulling it out, and the second half of the event was completely different. And you guys are two different teams, in the later half of the night. Communication was on point. Tier 6 did really well. Good job on you guys. One thing to point out, as we kind of go through these matches too, I mean, I don't know if you guys will recognize this, but up until the semifinals, almost every match, went with a very defensive approach. Everybody was staying to the back, with the exception of Tier 6, who, almost every single game sent somebody up early to get a flag. It's something that a lot of people don't do. I mean, there's different strats to it, trying to get points versus keeping a body on the field, whatever. But then you get to the second half, and that changes. That changes everything, because you see teams who start diving up to get the flag later on and getting those points, because it matters later on, especially when the only game of the night between anyone, Murder Inc. and TSA.
Again, this is where I get him. It's this clip right here, actually. You can see me looking inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then I shoot him at one point when I look inside right there. But it's this match. I continue.
You fucked me up.
Communication later into the night.
Nope, had nothing to do with communication.
So it sounded like where you were going.
There was only one match throughout the night where it went to time. There's only one game that went to time, and at that point, I mean, you guys had already gotten. I'm pretty sure I can't remember what the scenario was. I can't remember if they won. They had bodies, and they got the flag first. But it's the only time it happened. That game in particular, the first match of TSA and Murder Inc. is a wonderful match to watch. It goes all 3 rounds, and there's a lot of very solid gameplay in there. So whenever you get a moment, if the timestamps are in there, by all means, go give that a look. It's worth it. 100%. 100%.
That should be looking to study us and try and get a leg up on us. on both teams.
There is a game with Valhalla Tactical I wanted to point out as well. I just can't remember what it freaking was.
Like, I don't know if you're gonna go through this whole thing as far as this goes on this podcast. I'm imagining not.
No.
But then I'm gonna give spoilers. Valhalla, you guys straight up came out and shocked the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. They placed what, third?
Third overall.
Yeah, third overall. I was not expecting that. Like I said, I will never say somebody is a bottom tier team, but like because of their experience and never done it before, and they were just a home team that, from what it sounded like, was just guys that got thrown together that play at Valhalla regularly. I was not expecting them to be like ball out and be at third. I was like, no, there's no way. It surprised the shit out. And I didn't even. We played them once, and that was for the second/third place spot. And it was a fairly quick match. I don't remember a whole lot from it, but I was surprised that they were up there. That was for sure.
So I'm gonna fast forward. Like I said, I don't want to run through this entire video. I mean, it's an hour and change. We don't need to do all that, and we've already just kind of like filled time doing whatever. Either way, I am gonna fast forward to my MVP pick or MVP play of the event, and I would like to share it with you guys.
Mirage. I'm just kidding. Stop. That's an inside joke.
And it's within the final set of TSA versus Murder Inc. This is the finals game. If you guys haven't already seen it, go watch it.
Best of 5 or best of 3? You said finals, so best of 5.
Best of 5, and it's in one of the last games, I believe. we'll kind of just like run through
Just watch
this.
it. Just watch it through. It's the best of 5. Just watch it through.
I also apologize for all the commentary in this video because I thought I was, being a little bit more energetic and having some influxes with my voice, and then I realized like I'm just one tone the entire time. So I promise it will not be a thing when the Cali video comes out. I'm just gonna keep on talking as this goes through too, but
I want to try and hop in on it if I can with you, or have someone from the trip hop in on it with you and do it.
I think, oddly enough, I've talked with Kev about doing commentary, and he said that he would hop on board, and I think that would be a really good balance. One, because I've already seen it all in real time.
He has a real perspective, like he gives you true.
Exactly. He'll give a different perspective than I can. Not to mention he is self-proclaimed pro spectator.
Appreciate the love.
So,
appreciate the love, Scotto. Appreciate it. Anytime he mentions it, the view count goes up, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for any of you who are watching or are in the chat, feel free to share it on any of your social media. Come watch, share the link, and let's get more people in here.
By all means.
More people, more questions, more interactions, the more content you get from us.
So next week.
You found your moment or no? That you're looking for?
No. It's not until Murder Inc. gets back onto the blue side.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so next week, myself and all the TSA guys, we are heading out to California, Roseville, California.
It is in a week, isn't it? Oh my.
It is. It's in a week.
The day.
We're going to True Aim up in Roseville, California, for our California major. Super excited. I think this is a great opportunity for multiple reasons. But before I go on that rant, I won't actually go on that rant. The event is April 9th. It's a Saturday. It should only take me about a week. Hopefully, it's a very busy week when I get back. Considering it's spring break, I work with kids, so it's big.
And the Valhalla events right after.
Exactly. So I'm going to try to pump out the video as fast as I can. I am going to be including a few more bits and bobs than I did for this video, only because it's a major event. So I want it to look a little bit nicer. So I'll get that out.
That for a second, Keegan. I wasn't watching the real-time one. I was watching the other one. Did Pat not get Lou on that rundown?
Apparently not.
Guess not. Okay.
Either way.
I mean, shit happens. I just thought it looked like he might have. I don't know.
Either way, the timeline of stuff and things, we should have a video released on the 16th for the California major, and then a bracket breakdown on the 19th, which is the following Tuesday. And believe it or not, that Sunday, the 23rd, will be our Virginia major back here at Valhalla Tactical. And give me some time. Your boy's going to be tired. Things are moving very quick from this point forth. So, yeah. Actually, I want to point out one thing. We have... I got to rewind it just for a second. And I'm going to turn the volume up. It should be 2-on-1 at the moment.
It's I think Brett or Ethan.
No, it's Bert and Ethan. Berth is at home. Ethan
Berth,
or TSA Holland is at the Cube.
Bert.
And then you have Lou from Murder Inc. who's at the Cube. He ends up bumping into the X, but listen to how quiet it is. Where's the other one?
Corner rather going out for TSA 2-on-2. Getting real
It's
quiet.
also because everyone's dead.
And the fire.
It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful moment of silence, and it was just like taking a step back and being like, "Yeah, this is it. We now found, we got him."
You can tell Lou was a little confused too, right?
Yeah,
he was like, is there anyone alive? Can I run up? And then as soon as he makes the move to the X, he catches the guy on the left at the cube or the shadow or something. And, and then Dick
Words are
dives
hard.
down,
Yeah.
words are very hard. Dives down and hides out of the way, not knowing that Bert is still alive.
Right. Scotto, I don't know if M1's going to happen, my guy. Only reason I say that is it's a 6-hour drive down, a 6-hour drive back. And, yeah,
Less than a day.
we'll play it by ear because our flight... No, my flight goes out on Monday. My flight goes out on Monday, so...
My flight goes out technically Monday morning, like 12:35 a.m. But
Yeah.
that's, I mean, we'd get back, and JT and I would be rolling back to the airport, like from Edinburgh.
Yeah, no, really, really, it would be rough. And I totally forgot. Like, there's only one person who can drive you there, and it's me.
It might be worth like talking to JT and getting him to maybe if we can bump our day out to a day at least, but that would depend on this work stuff too.
Yeah, well, we got other stuff we got to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, we're on the podcast. We'll talk about that shit.
But
moving into
yeah.
the X.
Let's go over that play that you wanted to talk about. That's just supposed to be happening after this match.
Yeah, it should be this next match coming up.
Clear.
And it was kind of cool. I didn't know where things were going to go after this. Like, in my prediction, I had these two teams going against each other anyways. So, from here on out, it's just a crapshoot. I was like, I don't know who's going to be winning what, if it's going to go, to all 5 or whatever.
While we do this, right, before you go over the MVP play, can we break down what happens so people know what happened in the finals?
Really needs to rally here and win the
I mean, there's not much to break down. I mean
break
everything's...
down the penalty. Break down the penalty.
There's no penalty in the finals. We don't need to break that down.
Before the finals. Okay.
We don't need to break that down.
Okay.
Scotto, my flight's already going out of Sacramento. I don't know if I'd be able to switch it this late, and I have other people I have to take care of on top of that. So, yeah, we have a team meeting on
traveling and moving shit around. So
yeah, we have a team meeting on Thursday to kind of figure out all of our last minute details. There's so much that I have to do within the next week, and it's kind of obnoxious, but
all of us, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, this is going into game 3.
more than you need to in these finals.
I can't remember if it's going into game 3 or game 4. We're just skipping ahead to get things started.
You didn't end up in the finals on accident, did you?
I want it to be in the finals.
I thought you were talking about in the
Nope.
best of 3 before the finals.
Nope.
Moving into the X early to get those points, as he should.
I mean, they're on the blue side, like you said, so.
They are on the blue side. It should be here. The person I am looking for is the newest player of Murder Inc., Matt.
One of their home players getting taken out from TSA.
From what I remember, I want to say, yeah, Luke bumps out. Jacob doesn't know how to use his gun, so he doesn't shoot Lou.
Look, no, it just didn't
It's fine.
function.
It's fine. So at this point, yeah, Matt is at home with Jose. They're double stacking at the moment, but what we don't see is Matt's gun goes down in the middle of the game, and
it's this one. I think it's the
yeah.
next one. It's not this set. It's the one after this set, I think. No, it's this one. Yep.
I know what I'm talking about, mofo.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he had to take his flashlight off of his gun and started using it just as like a distraction, which this is my MVP play. You're in the finals match, your gun goes down, what do? You don't just run off the field. You don't just, kind of call it quits. You make yourself as annoying as possible until, time is up. And that was it.
I saw him make that move up. I saw the shadows change, and I was gonna go over the top, but as soon as I did, TJ was coming down the wire and just railed me.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no choice. I had no options.
I do feel bad. Jose was doing his bow, and I hit the buzzer early, and then he tags it because I thought he was just gonna run up and do it. Jose, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stole your thunder. But that's my
Complimented
MVP.
on there. You did compliment the bow
Yeah, yeah.
celebration. By all means, like for those watching, we encourage you to celebrate as you hang the flag. Like if you win. Like,
yeah, man. Like I am all for trash talking. I'm all for, being a little flagrant. It makes
celebratory, not flagrant, celebratory.
It could go hand in hand. Either way.
They can, because flagrant can get out of hand if you go too complicated. But
I enjoy it, and it makes it fun to watch. That's what's so nice about the NFL, or when you see someone, knock a sucker out of the park in baseball, and they give that nice little bat toss, and they're like pumping up the crowd or whatever. I love it. I think it's so good.
Like first base trot as they're like
exactly. I really like it. Either way, like I said, this is my MVP. My first official MVP vote is for Matt from Murder Inc. Game 3 seeding event in the finals. Just having the peace of mind to be able to be like, yeah, this is what we do.
Because at the end of the day, push comes to shove. You think about it this way. For those of you who don't know how the game works, every player on the field is 5 points. Every player you take off the field as the opposing team is 5 points gained. Right? So if Matt was to just walk off, that's a free 5 points. We just gained him for free. We didn't even have to kill him. He just walked off because his gun wasn't working. Stay on the field. Like if shit happens, stay on the field. There's so much you can do if you think about it mentally that can benefit your team. If no one's got the flag, make a go with the flag. You don't have a gun, go get it, right? Those extra points. You don't have that, be, like you said, in a nuisance. Sometimes it's distract them on the snake side. Just go balls to the wall down the snake side and make everybody's attention focused there, while attention is just focused elsewhere from your team, There's so much you can do from a mental standpoint without a gun if your shit breaks that can benefit your team.
I do want to mention before I get hit up later on, just because I am choosing this as my MVP or my MVP moment rather, for this event, does not mean that I didn't see you get your 3-pack or your 4-pack or whatever pack you might have gotten, or a specific play you thought was worthy. This is just the stuff that, really stands out to me. And like I said, if you guys watch this video and you are like, dude, I don't know how this kid just got this, by all means, hit me with the timestamp, drop it in the comments, and I will be more than happy to watch it over. I'll be more than happy if it's a really good play. I'll add it into to the nominations.
Like, in all honesty, I think Don's early. First of all, the reason I say Don's play is he's new to Speedsoft, made it all the way down the snake successfully, caught that 3 or 4-pack, whatever it was, after making a bounce back decision of a poor play, right? So like, not only did he recoup and regather, he made a smarter play, a beneficial play with a 3 or 4-pack dropping bodies, and then also his team secured the win. So like, that for me is an MVP style play, as well as Matt's. Those are 2 candidates for that, in my opinion.
Yep. I'm trying to think of anything I can think of off the top of the head before we, really get going. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing in the very near future for everyone that's here. I can't speak on too much of it at the moment, but there's a lot changing. One of the things I will speak on, the layout of this field in particular will be changing in the very near future. Not drastically. There's for the VA major, this layout will not be the same. Tier 6 guys, Valhalla guys, sorry. You probably won't see it until I get down there a month from now, which is, I kind of like that aspect. It'll be a true blind play on everyone's front. So there is that. Valhalla is also doing a lot of things to help out the spectator half of this. They are building an observation deck on the back wall with some plexi. I'm super excited about that. It's a different element. It lets players kind of like...
Wait, time out. You mean like an actual deck, like a second level?
No, not a full second level. So you can
okay.
see the dudes up there right now.
Yeah, the heads.
Yeah, the heads. They're standing on tables, for those of you that don't know. Yeah, they're standing on tables. We can't do that anymore. That's not smart.
Yeah.
It's not smart. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, so that's one thing that'll be changing. And then in addition, I totally just messed all that up. Let me... I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay. We can look at Jacob's eyes and nose. It's like you're wearing a mask. This whole look is also going to change as well. This is a official heads up to all of you. There is going to be a new mandate for the series. This is in the best interest of everyone's well-being. Chin straps are going to be a thing. You will 1,000%.
My mask doesn't have one.
You will 1,000% need a chin strap. I thought about it for a little while, trying to figure out if I was going to do it or not. There is ample supply across multiple websites. They're only about $10. I am going to have leniency for the California and Virginia major. There was an incident over at Shot Zone where a player kind of like tripped on one of the bunkers, whatever, and his mask almost completely flew off because he did not have a chin strap. The same thing has happened in paintball. People have lost eyes for it. It's not really worth it. I also don't feel like filling out the insurance claim for it. So chin straps will be a thing. I'll make an official post probably later in the week. In addition, gauntlet stuff is going to be announced. Yes, I put one about SS. There will be more announcements the next 2 weeks. Or I'm sorry, the next couple days, not 2 weeks. And that will all be reflected on the website. Very last thing. I would love for more views to come through this channel and expand a little bit more. So please, 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 I hate saying this, if you like the video, not this particular live stream, but if you like the tournament video, if you didn't like the tournament video, if you have feedback, do all that. Hit the like button, comment, tell me what you want to see.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to come over and hit subscribe button on your phone or on your computer, I will be more than happy to do so. Not really, because that's probably a lot of traveling, and I don't have money. So,
and these gas prices are crazy.
Yeah. Either way, if you're in California and you want to say what's up, come see me April 9th at True Aim. Me and the guys will be out there. I may or may not have some very new swag with me. Yeah, you didn't know about that either.
No, there's a lot of shit you don't tell me, but it's okay.
I've made a purchase the other day, and I'm pretty confident that it'll be here. If they send out what I ordered, like the rest of my stuff, then we should be in pretty good shape. Either way, I'm gonna get going. This has been a very long rant. Thank you for joining us today. Yep, we're just gonna go. Yep. Okay, bye.
Yeah.